Hello, everyone. Welcome to our first webinar. As Monica already mentioned, we have a French translation on this webinar today. So if you want French, go to the bottom of the screen and hit the French button, and also the same for the English. This is our second webinar this winter, and we are doing 2 more. All of them will be focused on you first, means people first. We will be sharing ideas and thoughts on how to be healthy at home. Housekeeping items. We are recording this session today, so if you do not want to be on camera, please turn off the camera, your camera video off. Introduction. Today's webinar, we are going to talk about food, fitness, and fun. We are going to talk about what we do to eat healthy and to stay active. You're going to hear from People First members who are going to share their tips. Joining us today, and if you could just please wave your hand when I call your name, that would be greatly appreciated. Join us today is Jonathan from New Brunswick, Dugan from Ontario, and Steph from Ontario, Chris from Alberta. We have a few special guests as well. Shelley Fletcher is the Executive Director of People First of Canada. Welcome, Shelley. And she will be doing a food demonstration. Also, we have a national fitness expert. Her name is Sarah Taylor. Here, you may have seen her on TV on City Line. She is going to share some tips on how she exercises at home and getting you moving. And there will be time at the end for questions for Sarah or comments. Now, I'm going to introduce our first guest, our first tip person, Jonathan. Jonathan, I have a few questions for you, and you are from New Brunswick. So good to have you here today, Jonathan.
Hi.
Jonathan, I'm going to ask you some questions, okay? And you just answer them. Why do you want to come today to join this webinar to talk about this subject? Did you get the question, Jonathan? No. Okay. I think we'll move on to, he has computer issues, so we'll move on to the next person. The next person that's up is, we're going to ask Shelley to do her food preparation, and Shelley is all the way from Winnipeg. So Shelley, would you like to do your food demonstration now, please?
I sure will. Thank you, Heidi.
You're very welcome.
I think it's funny that you asked me to do this because I'm not a very good cook, but I'm going to just show you a really quick thing that we do in our house. It's sort of a go-to. We always have it in the fridge, and it's just a quick snack for people. And so I have to have my camera positioned so you can see what I'm doing here. Okay, hold on. I got to run my tap for 1 sec. I'm going to mute for a minute. While that's running, I'm going to tell you I'm just putting some cold water in my sink right now. And what I do is I have a little pot of salt here. I'm going to throw some salt in the water. There you go. So I basically just put some salt water in my sink. So I am always really worried about, as we all are right now, about germs And one of the best things you can do when you bring home vegetables from the store is soak them in salt water. It gets all cold water with a bit of salt. Doesn't matter how much salt you put in there, you're going to rinse them off anyways. But it gets all of the germs off of your food when you do that. And if there's little bugs, we're going to cut up some broccoli today. And if there's little tiny bugs or anything in there, the salt water gets rid of all of that. So that's one of the things I start with when I clean my vegetables. So I wanted to show you guys something that we could do that doesn't cost a lot of money. It's healthy. And if you have it ready in your fridge, you're a lot more inclined to grab this than a bag of chips. Okay, so I'm just cutting up a little bit of celery right now. Throw it in that sink full of water. Okay, I have 1 carrot. I cut the ends off both my carrots. I'm gonna wet the carrot. I find carrots peel easier if they're wet. And I'm just gonna quickly peel my carrot. Takes about 10 seconds to peel a carrot. And then I'm going to, I can't believe I'm doing I'm the world's worst cook, you guys. I can't believe I'm doing this. And then I'm gonna just cut my carrot into some chunks. And then I cut it in half. Be very careful when you're doing this. So I just cut my carrot into 4. Can you see it? So I have like little chunks of carrot. Throw it in the sink with the salt water and the other vegetables. All right. I was going to have this all prepared for you, but I thought, what's the point of having it already done? I want to show you how I do it, right? There, so I cut my carrots into 4 chunks.
You're doing amazing, Heidi.
You can cut them as big or small as you want and throw them in your salt water. I'm going to do broccoli because that's a favorite in our house. I cut that big stem off, throw that out. We compost here. We live on the river. We throw our food down to the river. There's lots of animals who come and eat our leftovers. And you can even use your hands for this. For the bigger pieces, you can cut them up. Depends how big. When I'm eating veggies and dip, I don't like big broccoli because it's hard to shove it all in your mouth at once, right? So I tend to cut it into smaller pieces. So they're more bite-sized. Throwing it in the sink again with all the other vegetables. I don't worry about mixing my vegetables. And then, while that's soaking, okay, so I'm going to show you what my sink looks like. I also can't stand food on my hands, so I wash my hands a lot through this process.
I think we're just having some freezing. We'll give her a second. Shelly, if you can hear us, you're frozen right now.
It's Jonathan. I'm back there.
Okay, hang on, Jonathan. We'll just see what Shelly's gonna be able to. All right, Heidi, what do you want to talk to Jonathan next? You're just on mute, Heidi.
Sorry. Jonathan, are you there? And I'm unmuted.
Yeah, Jonathan.
Okay, let's go to Doolin. Doolin, can you come on, please?
Yes.
Okay, Doolin, why did you want to join this session today, this webinar? And why is it important to you?
It's important to share my story so everybody can hear what we want other people to hear us our voices.
Good question. What are some of your favorite foods you like to make?
I love to make pizzas from scratch. I learned this at our class at Roblox with my friends. I have made it many times and we all love it. My second favorite is butter chicken and koftas. I help my mom to make them.
What kind of junk food do you like to eat?
I'm not done yet. We
Oh.
also love
Oh,
brown rice and fried chicken, which I can make, and I make potato bhaji. I also bake cake and muffins from scratch.
oh, thank you, Dylan. Another question is, what is your favorite junk food?
My favorite junk food is having burgers, hot dogs, and French fries.
Okay, thank you. What do you do for exercise? If so, what do you like to do? What type of exercises do you like to do at home?
My exercise is when I work. When I work, I had a lot of walking to do as I took public transport. My work was with different offices and departments on different floors. So I was busy walking and the time at that time. After COVID started, I was at home. So we started walking daily for 45 minutes as a family. We also do daily yoga meltdown. It is really good for the whole body. We walk up and down the steps to get cardio exercise.
Okay, Dylan, I have one more question because
I also dance
Oh.
when I have time.
Thank you, Dylan. I have one more question I'm going to ask you.
Okay.
And what is some of the tips you have for people who are trying to stay healthy? Do you have any tips for people that are trying to stay healthy? Like
Yeah.
in terms of food and fitness?
Yes. We cook our food so we know what is in it. We avoid junk food and use it only if we are out of the house for many hours. Our diet contains lots of fresh fruit and vegetables for both our main meals.
Thank you, Dylan. Does anybody have any questions or comments for Dylan? Okay, if not, maybe Monica, is Shelley back on?
Nope, Shelley's not on yet, but I think Jonathan is.
Okay, Jonathan, it's your turn. We're going to ask you some questions.
Yeah.
Awesome. Thank you, Jonathan.
Okay.
Why did you want to come on here today, this webinar to talk about this subject? Like to talk about food and healthy eating and fitness and exercise. Why did you want to join this webinar? Jonathan, do you hear me? No. Okay, I'm going to change the plan here. I'm going to show you a demonstration on the treadmill. Just let me get me set up here. These people are froze. This is one of the exercises I do every morning, and I enjoy doing it. And I do this, I'm going to turn it on. And I do this for about 20 minutes, just about every morning. And the reason why I do this is because I can go faster, but I'm not. Because in the winter months, as we all know, there's a lot of ice and it is cold, and it saves me going outside in the winter, because in the spring, summer, and fall, I like to get outside and go for a walk. And that's very important for each and every one of us to remain active and stay healthy in our day-to-day life. I think that's so important, and it keeps us mentally fit as long as possible. Okay. Okay, I'm gonna, Chris, can I ask you some questions now?
Yes, you can.
All right, thanks, Chris. Chris, where are you from?
Alberta.
What part of Alberta do you live in?
Lethbridge.
Awesome, Chris. Why did you want to come on here today, this webinar, to talk about food and fitness, and why is it important to you?
I'm not that healthy, so learning from everyone else what they do to be healthy and stuff is important to me, and to learn from each other. So, yeah.
Great answer, Chris. Do you enjoy cooking, and what do you cook?
I do enjoy cooking, but I struggle with it because I do have some mental health issues. So I try to do meal planning for the month and have meals ready that you can just put in the oven and cook and stuff. So yeah.
Awesome. I know I enjoy cooking as well. I'm not one to cook great big meals, but I do cook healthy meals. One of the things I like to cook is hamburger and macaroni. I enjoy cooking that for myself as well as my family. They enjoy the way I do it, and it gives me a pleasure to cook for others sometimes.
Nice.
Is there anything you use to do to exercise that you can't do now during the pandemic? So let's say if you used to go to the gym, or did you used to bike or anything like that. So is there something that you used to do for exercise, but you're unable to do it now during the pandemic?
I used to go swimming a lot, so I love swimming, so I can't do that now.
Okay, well, hopefully you can get back to that soon.
Hopefully.
One more question. Can you share some tips on how to have fun at home during the pandemic? So do you have any tips that you can share with us?
Well, I think learning, like e-learning, Skillshare is a learning platform that you pay monthly, like Netflix. And so learning and keeping active, your mind active, and learning new skills at home, I think is very important for our mental health and stuff. So, yeah.
Okay. Does anybody have any questions or comments for Chris or Jonathan? Because I forgot to ask that. All right. If not, Monica, is Shelley back on?
No, she's not on yet.
Okay, I'm going to go to the next person then. We're going to talk about snacks. One of the snacks I like eating is an apple. Everybody can see my apple?
Heidi, can you move your camera down just a little?
Oh, sorry.
Okay.
Sorry about that. An apple, and an apple is a healthy snack. Another healthy snack I like to eat is bananas. grapes. In the morning for breakfast, I have in my cereal, I have bananas and blueberries. Blueberries is one of my favorite fruit I enjoy eating. Can then someone tell me what some of the other healthy foods that they enjoy eating?
I enjoy eating plums.
Good for you. Anybody else?
Trail mix.
Oranges.
Good, Daniel.
Strawberries.
Good.
Grapes.
Good.
I like all kinds of
Oranges.
fruit.
Awesome. I think we got a variety of snacks that we all enjoy doing. I know I enjoy going, getting back to exercise. Besides walking, I like to get out because it's not summer. In the summertime, I like to get out and go swimming. I like to play golf. I like to do a variety of different things because I think it's important for us to stay active as long as possible. Okay, we will move on to the next item, and I just seen that she's on there. Steph, can I ask you a few questions?
Yes, Heidi. Heidi, go right ahead.
Thank you, Steph. Tell us about why did you want to join this webinar today to talk about food, fitness, and why is it important to you?
Well, I think one of the reasons was Monica asked me to be a part of this. She probably knows that I live my own and I do my own shopping, and so I had a bit of knowledge in that area. So when I do a grocery shopping, I always like to go for items that are on sale or that are low cost. I don't usually buy anything that's over $5. So like that's how I stay in my budget when I do grocery shopping. And when it comes to fitness, I am a walker. I walk everywhere in Peterborough, and Ruth and Rue knows this. I don't drive. I hardly take the public transit, so I like to walk everywhere that I need to go. So so that is one of my big fitness that I do. The other thing is that I love to dance. I do. I have a little a dance party for one almost every evening. Especially when we were on a lockdown last year, I did a lot of dancing in my house. So so like that's another of exercises that I like to do.
Thanks, Deb. I think you answered some of the other questions that I was going to ask you, but there is a couple more that I want to ask you.
Shoot.
In terms of grocery shopping, I know you mentioned that you try to buy some things that are under $5.
Yeah.
As you know, vegetables and fruit are quite costly, so is meat. What are some of the foods that you buy healthy?
Well, I buy like a lot of berries.
Good.
I buy a lot of salad bags. I don't normally make my salads by like not buying lettuce or peppers, or because I just know that all that food is just going to go to waste in my fridge. So what I do, I just buy a salad bag, and that helps me. But I do like will buy like red peppers or yellow peppers when they are on sale, and And then when it comes to meat, I usually go for chicken breast or pork chops or meat that is on sale. So that's what I usually go for.
No, that's a great suggestion, Steph, because I know with me, I pretty much buy the same things you do, except for pork chops, but I either buy hamburger or chicken, and the same thing with vegetables. I don't buy lettuce. I try to buy, and I buy carrots and peppers and mushrooms when they come on sale, and other variety of vegetables. And then I make my salads that way. Because I'm not a big lettuce person. I will eat it, but and sometimes if I want to go get a salad, I'll just go get it prepaid, already made, because it's cheaper to do it that way than it is to go and buy all the separate things all separate. So great answer. I'm just going to ask you one more question, and I think it would be a good one because we haven't heard this from anybody yet. Do you like?
Heidi,
yes, Monica?
Sorry to interrupt you, Heidi, but I think Rue had a question. I saw her hand going up.
Okay. All right, we'll move on. Does anybody have any questions for Steph?
This is not a question, but she also likes to buy baby carrots and dip.
Oh, yes, yes.
She's a lot like me.
I should know. She's my best friend.
She's a lot like me. I do the same thing. I buy baby carrots as well. Okay, we'll move on then. Sounds good. We're going to meet Sarah now. She's going to be our fitness expert, and we are going to turn it over to her, to Sarah Taylor, and I will explain who she is. Thank you, Sarah, for joining us.
My pleasure. Thank you for having me.
Okay, I'm just going to read a little script here, and then you can take it on from there.
Sounds good.
Sarah has been on different TV shows and magazines. We are very excited to have you here, and to get to do some activities with you, right?
Yep.
Sounds awesome. And what would you like to show us today? So Sarah, you can take it away.
Sounds good. First of all, Heidi, you are an amazing host. Job well done. Your energy is so infectious, so you should be super proud. I just wanted to talk a little bit today before we get moving on the importance of moving our bodies, especially right now because we're home. If you're in Ontario like me, we're in lockdown. We can't really go anywhere, but there are so many benefits to moving that you will find as you move your body. So a couple of the benefits before we get to move together is it helps us do the things in our everyday life when we're moving. So there are some components to moving, like mobility, that's the ability to move. There's stability, being able to be balanced. And then there's things like strength to help us do the things that we do in life. So that could be carrying our groceries inside. It could be doing our laundry, lifting that laundry basket. There's so many different things that we do in our day-to-day life, and it's really important to be able to be strong enough to do them. And we can do things right at home. So right here is where I teach fitness classes 6 days a week, and we just work out at home. I used to have a gym, but again, because of lockdown, our world has changed quite a bit. So there's the aspect of moving, being stable, building our strength, and then there's also cardio. So Heidi talked about walking, and that's a really, really great example of cardio, and that keeps our heart healthy, which is really, really important because that helps us with long lives. When it comes to cardio, there's a few different things you can do. So you can do things like Heidi does, walking on the treadmill or walking outside if it's not too slippery. You can do cardio. I can slow down a little bit more. Sorry, I will slow down a little more. When it comes to walking, you can do slow walking, and it's called LISS walking. So you're going for a longer period of time, but you're going a little bit slower. just like I'm talking a little slower. And then if you would like to build up your heart endurance a little bit more, you can add some intervals. And some people find that really intimidating, but one of the things you can do is if you're out for a walk, say you decide you're going to go for a 15 or a 20-minute walk, you can do 1 minute of fast walking and then go 1 minute of slower walking. So you can kind of spice up your walking a little bit if you want to have shorter times that you're out, or if it's just really cold outside and you don't necessarily want to be out for very long, you can shorten that time, but add a little bit more intensity to your moving. There's also things that you'll find benefits when you start moving your body, like sleeping better. Really important. Sleep is a very important part of our life, as well as our well-being, as well as reducing anxiety and improving our mental health. So all of these benefits are amazing to help us in our everyday life. And I think when it comes to working out or moving your body, it can feel really intimidating because you might not know where to start. So that's why today we're going to go through a few things you can do even at home while you're watching TV, adding little spurts of movement through your day that will help you feel better, sleep better, feel stronger, and feel really clear in your mind as well. We're also going to talk about mobility and stretching. So that's what we're going to start with. Now you can set aside time for yoga like Delwyn does and have dedicated time for stretching, or if you're completely new to doing any kind of stretching, you can add things while you're even in bed. So before you even get out of bed, you can add a couple different things to help get your body ready for the day. And then you can also do them in the evening before you go to bed to help get yourself calm and get your body ready to sleep. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to go through 3 exercises. I'm going to do them on the ground. You could do this on the ground. You could do it in bed, anywhere that is comfortable for you in terms of stretching. So I'm going to show you 3 basic ones. Let me head to the ground. The first one we're going to do is a really simple back stretch. So I'm just going to make sure you can see the ground. My pants are a different color, so hopefully that will help you in terms of seeing me and not just my body. So if you are in bed or on the ground, you're going to lay flat on your back. You're going to make a T with your arms, and you're going to relax those shoulders, okay? The next thing you're going to do is you're going to keep your knees together and go to one side. And then you're going to look the opposite way of your knees. Okay, so typically you would hold something like this for about a minute long. You can also hook right under your knee if you want to add a little bit more pressure. And what this will do is it will help you add some mobility into your back, specifically your low back. When you're in this position, you also want to make sure you're breathing. So breathing in through your nose, and then exhaling, releasing any tension you have in your body. Then you would obviously flip to the other side. So same thing, knees on one side and your head goes the opposite way. And again, using this as a time to connect with your body, relax it, and stretch it out a little bit. Okay, so that's one of the ones that you can do anytime in the day or even when you're in bed. The next one, we're going to work on our hips. So because most of us are sitting a lot right now, our low back and hips can be really, really tight. So this is a really simple one you can do as well, that you can do in bed or on the ground. So we're going to stay in that same position we were in the first one, and you're going to bring your knees to the ground as much as you can. Okay, so you'll feel a stretch in your quad, which is this big muscle, and in your hip. And all you're going to do is gently go side to side. So you'll feel a stretch in that hip and in that quad, as well as that lower back. So you can do as many of these as you like, but again, it's something that you should do that is nice and slow and not quick, because it is a stretch and you don't want to move too quickly in them. The next one is a child's pose. So again, This one is really great for being on the ground or in bed. You can even do it on the couch. So again, low back is a very big issue for people right now just because we are sitting more than normal. So you're going to be on your knees. If you need to add a pillow or something softer under knees, feel free to do that. You're going to sit back on your heels and stretch your arms forward. Again, focusing on your breathing, connecting with your body here, and you should feel a nice big stretch all through here. You can then walk your hands to one side and also get a stretch in your upper body. So you'll feel it from here all the way down to your hip, and then again, the other side, okay? So those are 3 simple ones you can do in bed, on the ground, in your living room, wherever is gonna feel good. And then the next thing we're gonna do is you can, if you would like to, stand up with me. If not, totally cool. We're gonna talk about 5 simple exercises you can do at home. You can do it while you're watching TV. You can do it at a set aside time that you wanna, maybe at a workout. And we're gonna go through that. So the first one we're gonna do is high knees. So we're gonna talk first, before we go into these movements, about engaging our core. So your core is the center of your body. It is what helps you do pretty much everything in your everyday life. It is really important to make it stronger so that everyday life is a little bit more enjoyable. It will also help you do things like lifting those groceries or when you're doing workouts. Sorry, I have a hair in my face. So first thing you're gonna do is you're gonna take a deep breath in through your nose and you're going to engage these muscles. Now, how that feels is almost like you're bracing for impact. So if somebody were to punch you in the tummy, you would kind of like brace for that impact. That's the kind of feeling you want to feel. The other way to describe it is like when you're going number 2 and you're nice and tight trying to push. That's not a cute way of saying it, but it's another way of describing how to engage your core. So as we move, I want you to be mindful of keeping that core engaged, and your core includes your front as well as your back, because that's all the center of your body. So the first one we're gonna do is high knees. So your chest is gonna be up nice, tall, and confident. You're gonna bring your hands up at about waist level. That core is turned on, and we're just gonna bring our knees up. That is it, okay? So if you would like to add to this, you can go faster. So you can take your pace up higher, so running with it, or just keep it at that pace. Again, your chest is gonna stay up while you're doing those moves. The next one we're gonna do is squats. Now, I know that squats can seem really intimidating, especially if you don't know how to do them. So when I first see people come to my class, this is usually what I see for a squat. That is not a squat. What you want to think of with a squat is like you are sitting back into a chair. So you can go right to your couch if you want. You can use a chair in your kitchen so that you can practice how a squat feels. So again, that chest is up, your core is strong, and we're gonna sit back and down, squeeze that bum to come up and stand up. Now, if that is really challenging still and getting all the way up is difficult, you can start seated, come up as high as you can, go back down. And as you get stronger and you practice this more, you can come all the way up, okay? So that is your second one. Your third one, we're gonna wake up those hamstrings. So your hamstrings are this big muscle back here, okay? So we are gonna put our hands by our side, our shoulders are back and down, that core is engaged, and different than the squat, we're gonna hinge at our hips. So you're gonna bend over, feel it in the hamstrings and your glutes, squeeze your bum to come up. So one of the things that people often do is try and come up using their back. So these two specific moves are going to help you learn how to do things to not injure your back. So things like when you lift your laundry basket, squat down to pick it up, as opposed to bending over. So if you notice you have low back pain, be mindful of how you move around your home through the day. Am I frozen? It just said that it was unstable. Heidi, am I good?
You're okay.
I think I'm good.
You're okay
So
right now.
Okay. So that's two of the exercises that are really helpful for you to think of the benefits in your everyday life. The next one we can have a little bit of fun with, some boxing. So we're gonna keep it really, really, really simple. And we're gonna do a jab cross. So we're gonna get that core nice and strong. Your feet start shoulder width apart. And if you're right-handed like me, you're gonna step back slightly with that right foot. You're gonna get those knees nice and soft, meaning they're not straight, nice and soft. And you're going to punch, 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 going back and forth, okay? If you want to go up in pace, you can go up, or you can keep it pretty moderate. Faster looks like this, okay? While you're doing it, be mindful of that form so that core is strong, your knees are soft, your shoulders are relaxed, and you have a little fun with it. Also, takes a little bit of your stress out of your day. Last one is going to be a standing core exercise. Again, like I mentioned, core is really, really important to help you stay strong. So this can also be done on the ground on all fours, but today we're just showing you a standing workout so that it's really easy to add into your life, okay? So feet are shoulder width apart, that core is engaged, and you're gonna go opposite hand to opposite leg, squeeze that bum, come down, switch sides. That is the move. So again, core stays strong, opposite arm, opposite leg, and squeeze that bum, okay? So those are the 5 exercises I had to show you today. And a reminder, there's a few different ways that you can do this and have this in your everyday life. So if you are home and you are watching TV, maybe during commercial breaks, you add 1 or 2 of those exercises during the commercial breaks. Or I really like what Heidi does, where she goes for a walk for 20 minutes in the morning. I find moving my body first thing in the morning helps me wake up, it helps me feel better for my day, clears my mind. And so maybe you dedicate a specific time that you're gonna move your body. Notice as well that all of those exercises, all I needed was my body. You don't have to have equipment at home, but if you decide, okay, Sarah, my squats feel good, I think I can do more, you can use things around your house to add extra resistance. So things like your laundry detergent, soup cans, bottles of water, jugs of water. You can even fill a backpack full of books or your laundry hamper full of books. Something just to add extra resistance so that you're challenging yourself a little bit more. The other thing I would recommend, and I will provide these exercises to Monica so that she can send them to you if you would like to use them again, is you can create your own little circuit. So you could do 10 of all of them and then give yourself a rest. And maybe the first time you do it 1 time. And then maybe the next week you're like, oh, I'm doing pretty good. You can do it 2 times, getting up to maybe 4 times. And if you do it 4 times, you're probably going to be looking at about a 25-minute workout, which is really, really good, right? The other thing you want to think of is getting a little bit of movement in every day. So whether it's a walk or it's something like I showed you today, or it's your stretching, some kind of movement every day will benefit you so, so much in all areas of your life. But also remember that a very big part of moving is also resting. So if you're going to try some of the things that I showed you today, specifically those 5 exercises at the end, you just want to make sure you give your body a rest in between so that your body can repair itself and help make you stronger. So I hope you found this really helpful, and it took a little bit of intimidation of not knowing what to do or thinking you had to have fancy equipment. You can use your beautiful body anywhere you are and feel amazing because of it.
Thank you, Sarah, for
You're
your
very welcome.
inspiration and as well as your input today on some great ideas for stretching and using some exercises. I think that's vitally important in our day-to-day life. Just before I go any further, I want to ask if anybody have any questions or comments for Sarah. Does anybody have any questions or comments for Sarah?
Sarah, do you have any exercises that people can do in chairs?
Yes. So
Chair yoga is good.
Yep, chair yoga is really good. Also, you can do, there's a lot of upper body you can do. So if you have like soup cans or bottles of water, you can do things like bicep curls, you can do shoulder presses, you can do lateral raises. You can also do things like the good morning. So being in a seated position, I am seated right now, hands by your side, hinging down, squeezing to come up using your abs, remembering to keep that core nice and engaged to help you strengthen that core. You can also have your arms up, bring your knees up and crunch into them as well. There's a lot of different options that you can do seated. Almost anything upper body you can. And then there's also core that you can add as well. And anything with bringing your knees up off the ground while you're seated work as well. So you can come up and out or the reverse. There's a bunch of different things like that as well. Does that help?
Yes, but what is that chair thing? The chair.
The thing I was
Somebody
sitting on?
said chair something.
Oh, chair yoga.
Oh, chair
Chair
yoga.
what?
Yoga.
No, the other one.
She said chair yoga.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you, Sarah. Does anybody have any other questions or comments?
Yeah, I do.
Okay, go ahead.
Yeah. What is a good exercise? Because I got arthritis in my lower back. What would be a good exercise for that?
I would work on strengthening your core. So the bird dog, like I showed you. Also, you can do things like planks without being on the ground as well, where you'll get that same form. So you can use your wall. Core will stay nice and strong. And notice how my back is flat. I'm not like this.
Right.
And as you get stronger, you can go down the wall.
Right.
Okay. That's a
Right.
really great one because that's a full body and it makes it a little bit easier on your core for you.
Right.
And should help with that low back. Also, I would say things like doing high knees. So the first one that we did, bringing your knees up, will also be helpful.
I do that one sometimes.
Yeah, that one would be really helpful because it's also strengthening your hips. Our hips and our low back are connected. So
Right.
when we strengthen one, we strengthen the other as well.
Right. When
Yeah.
you strengthen one, you strengthen both.
Yes. Also, I just put out on YouTube this week a video that is all standing core. So there's 15 exercises that you can do. So Monica, maybe we can connect and I can send that link to you. You can use that to do that anytime as well. Might be really beneficial just to see things you can do that are really easy for your core, which is really
Because
helpful.
I
for
go
lower.
to therapy and the therapist showed me about doing leg lifts and stuff like that.
Mhm.
Like laying down doing leg lifts, like
Yeah,
while you're laying down,
yeah. And so
Either
I
on
would,
a- either on the floor or on a bed or whatever.
yeah.
Yes, leg lifts are good for that side.
Yeah, definitely. And I would
Yeah.
say when it comes to anything you're working with your physio on, just if you want more exercises, ask them. And they should be able to give you additional ones if you're just asking for some more.
Right.
Your healthcare, just advocate for yourself and let them know, hey, I'd like to do some more. Do you have some other options that I could do? And they should be able to provide some, knowing your unique situation.
Yes, because I got her to change some of the exercises because some of the exercises she had me doing was making my back worse.
Right. Yeah. So definitely let them know what hurts when you do it. And I think a lot of the time when it comes to our bodies and our doctor experience, we have to learn how to ask for what we need and communicate with them so they can give us what is going to be helpful for us. So definitely tell them, this bothers me, but I'm looking for more. Can you provide me some extras? I think that that will be really helpful in your journey.
Yeah, right. Advocate for yourself.
Yes.
Does anybody else have any questions or comments?
Sarah, the wall plank, the one that you were doing the wall plank for.
Yep.
Body, is that like push-ups?
No, so that is just keeping your core engaged. You can do push-ups on the wall like that. There's a variety of different things you can do. So this is the generic plank position. That core stays strong. You can also do things like plank taps, where you take your opposite hand to the opposite shoulder. You can do that. You can also do push-ups. There's a lot of variety in terms of this position. And I think a lot of people think when it comes to fitness, you have to be on the ground for those kinds of things.
No,
Another
you don't.
one, exactly. And another one is mountain climbers. So it, again, most people, you see them do it on the floor. You can do it on the wall the same, or you can do it standing. So this is a full body movement, right? Your upper body, your core, your legs, your bum, all of that.
Now, how would you do?
The wall, I would get in that plank position and you can run your knees in. But notice my back stays flat the whole time, right? And then you can speed it up if you want to go faster.
Okay. I think we move on. Sarah, I would like to thank you for giving us some great advice this afternoon and some great ideas. I noticed before I go any further to read the closing comments, I just want to read, I was reading some of the comments that people put in the chat box, and I think they're great. Some of them are giving some great food ideas. Some of you were giving some great exercise ideas. I think it's all wonderful. And I hope that you certainly learn some ideas to use in your day-to-day life and continue to use it out in your home during this pandemic time. And not only that, throughout your life. Okay, I want to close here, but I want to read a few.
Heidi?
Yes.
Heidi, Shelley came back on the line. Do you want to see if she wants to finish her demonstration, or?
Yeah, we can. Shelley, would you like to finish your demonstration?
Sure, you guys. So sorry about that. I have no idea what happened, but I had to call my internet company and it was just a mess. I can't even explain. Of course that would happen right then.
Yeah.
So what I did while I was gone, you guys, is I rinsed off my vegetables. I laid them out on some paper towels. I dried them all up and I sliced up some cucumber and I threw it all in a dish. So I have a lovely veggie tray ready to go here. And then I wanted to just quickly tell you, I'm cheap. So when I make my veggie dip, I use like packaged dips. They cost nothing, like maybe $1.50. And I take my teaspoon and I stir it in with a little bit of sour cream and mayonnaise, equal amounts, however much you want to make. And I spoon it in my little dish here. But you know, you can also just use whatever dressing you want. But I prefer to use a packaged one because I get a lot out of it and it lasts me all week. And I put it in a little tray and there we have my veggies and dip. Again, this whole platter probably costs $3 to do. It's cheap, it's healthy. I think it was timely that I now came after Sarah instead of before, because after your workout, you want to go and have something to eat. You're going to grab your vegetables and have something healthy. So thank you. Sorry about that, you guys.
That's not a problem, Shelley. The technology, it happens to me and it happens to you and it happens to us all. So, but thank you for the last few minutes that we had, for giving you for your advice and giving us some tips on food. Okay, I'm going to read my remarks now, closing remarks. And that brings us to a quote to the end of today's webinar. Thank you for all joining us. Thank you to Jonathan, Doolin, Chris, and Steph Paul for sharing your tips and answering my questions. Thank you to Shelley for the food demonstration. Also, thank you again to Sarah Taylor for coming on here today and sharing her experiences and all kinds of input on exercises. We hope that you all heard and got some good ideas that will help you put you first and stay healthy. Just a reminder that if you have any questions about your health, diet, exercise, please talk to your doctor first or find out what's best for you. I just want to say, have a great day, and I hope you enjoyed this session and look forward to seeing you again. Thank you.
Thanks.